So mean.
Allegedly.
That's the way to do it right there. There we go.
Yeah, the sound was low on that video. What is going on, Greg Hughes?
Was it low?
It was very low. I had
Well,
to turn my speakers up.
Huh. Well, it's really loud on my end. Was it low for you guys? Let me know.
It could be my speakers.
Yeah. Well, let us know if that was low. It sounded pretty loud on my end, but if it's low, let me know. Everybody out there.
How are you today?
Okay, that's fine.
Greg Hughes.
Yeah, not too bad. How about you? How is there an update on how Scott's doing these days? I guess we haven't talked about that for a while.
He's good. He's good. He went with no oxygen all day yesterday, which was amazing.
Oh, that's incredible. Wow, that's amazing.
Sadly, we did get a call from his doctor.
Uh-huh.
They think he might have permanent lung damage. He has to go see a pulmonologist in November.
Like,
So
where was it something you can kind of therapy out, get better a little bit, or like?
No, he said you can manage it with medication, but this has been a side effect of COVID. This permanent lung damage. Of course, it doesn't happen to everybody, but poor Scott. It's one thing after the next. So it's his left lung. It's pretty damaged. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens in November. But he is on a steroid inhaler now, so all of that. He's doing a little better.
Yeah, well, it's pretty amazing, really, to be from where he was when I go like this to all the way to not even having an oxygen tank. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he went all day with nothing. I was shocked when he got home. He walked around the house several times. I'm like, oh, look at you. So he's getting better.
Yeah, well, it's great news. All right. Yeah. So what are we doing today? We're going to go over the timeline. We got back over the timeline.
We are. I did send you the PDF timeline that I made last night. We do know that they are back at the park searching for Brian. We're hoping for autopsy news today. That's, I know the autopsy schedule. Usually they'll give you the preliminary autopsy information. Probably not the full autopsy information for a while, but we might get something today. We were going to go over the Laundrie family's press conference, but I guess after he spoke to the FBI, he decided, no, we're not going to be doing a press conference.
And that must
so I wonder why.
Because they heard about the preliminary findings from the crime scene.
Probably, yeah. So, and then there is a missing persons case that has gotten some attention off the back of Gabby's case. His name is Daniel Robinson. He's a geologist, and he was getting no attention. And Gabby's case has really spurred the TikTokers and the tweeters to start putting all these other cases that haven't gotten any attention alongside Gabby's. Like they're hashtagging Gabby and then they're hashtagging other people. So it's working. It's working.
I don't know what that comment means right here. Look at this one. Who?
Rest in peace, Gabby. I didn't even know she was sick.
Is that a real? I don't even know what that means.
Is that Norm Macdonald on his photo?
I think so, probably. Yeah, I think that is Norm Macdonald. Maybe that was just a joke. I mean, that's pretty crazy, though.
Alrighty.
I wasn't sure if they were thinking from the previous conversation, conflating, about your, Scott, but I don't know. That's not a guy.
I don't know. I haven't had enough coffee for that today. Not yet, anyway.
Well, do you want to put that up on your screen? The timeline and do it that way, because
I
have these edges and things. It doesn't look.
You do. You have all the things, Gray.
Yeah, and I've also made it so that you can share. So.
Oh, nice! Because
before the show.
Look at you! You're with it today.
That's amazing.
I've got to pull it up,
especially at this early in the morning.
Yeah.
But I knew I had to get up earlier because I forgot about a doctor's appointment for my foot that I was going to have later. So, all right, where are we here?
All right. Now, I sent it to you in a PDF, so I should just download it in a PDF myself.
Yep.
Again. I should. And then we can go over that. And the reason was a lot of people were asking for a timeline, and I was surprised. I'm like, everybody knows the timeline, but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't all know the timeline. So
Yeah, and
we
also,
will pull it up here now. Share my screen.
in the timeline, somebody named Sylvie Moon Art has been kind of keeping the. Oh, let me switch over to that monitor. Hold on. No, not that one. This
No,
one.
not that one.
That
There
one.
you go.
Yeah, she sort of put together a timeline, and I think this has combination. Did you add some stuff too and things like that, or just?
I just added on the very latest things. I did not add on this morning, but
It's a pretty good
this
timeline.
is a timeline. It's a PDF. We can post it on our community wall if anybody cares to have it. But it just goes over the exact timeline of everything that went on, where their trip began. And if there was a source, such as an Instagram post, then that was all put in there as well. You know, from the Instagram post, we all know that they seemed really happy. Everything seemed normal. And I don't know, Gray, what do you think about this? You know, having a teenage daughter, everything has to be perfect on Instagram. It has to look picture perfect or they cannot post it.
Mm-hmm.
These guys were a little older, so I was surprised to see that level of perfection in every photograph. But my thought was these looks are so deceiving because every single thing that they ever posted on here was just perfection, and we know how this all ended up.
Yeah, I never thought the way remember that one shot with the tent with the mandolin or whatever sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
Then you look inside the camper and it was so perfect. Everybody was like, "Wow!" I'm just no. Listen,
So perfect.
This is for the video, okay? I guarantee it. Later in the day, it doesn't look like that. And then you see when they get pulled over, it's not anything like that at all in the back of that van, right?
Yeah, it's pretty awful. That van was, I don't know. But I mean, we don't have to go step by step to say where they were. We can, they started in New York, Colorado Springs. They went on to Utah. Another thing, social media does have its good points because the video that those people posted with the doors, now the famous doors opening and closing, that was so helpful. It ended up being really helpful.
Well, social media solved this case. I guarantee it.
For sure.
They wouldn't have had a clue. I mean, what's incredible to me is that camera was on filming that just ridiculously boring drive right at that moment, right? And not only that, two cameras, one on him and then one in the shooting out the window. So
crazy.
And then they turned it off when they got back to the van. That part's a little like, oh man, that's exactly when you needed it on the most almost.
Mm-hmm.
But he did seem to confirm that there were sandals on the ground too. The guy.
We have feedback, Gray.
We do? From where?
I can hear myself. Hello. Well, now I can't. Oh, yes, I can.
Well, do you have speaker? Why don't you maybe you try wearing your earbuds through?
I think it's okay now.
Okay.
No feedback for them. Okay, that's what's important. If it's just doing it to me, I don't really care. Okay, so this part here is interesting too, right? What was happening August 1st through the 11th? There were no posts whatsoever, right? So I found that really strange when, the lady who sent you this information and I worked off of, because the next day we know that there was the domestic incident. So for somebody who she was looking to live the van life, but also start her website, have that Instagram presence, all of those things, you don't not post for 10 days. So there was something odd there. And then you have the domestic incident. Then, Brian going home to put their stuff in a storage unit. Have you read anything about the storage unit yet?
No, I haven't seen. I mean, he went home and moved all of their stuff into the storage unit, right?
Right.
So to me,
supposedly,
that doesn't. People are like, oh, maybe that's premeditation, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think there was some other reason I mean, there's no reason, unless he was literally planning on taking off himself and doing something to her before the trip. It doesn't
Well,
make any sense. It was such like a 4 month trip. They're driving around.
that's what made me think about it,
Or
though,
three.
because August 1st to the 11th, there's nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have this domestic incident. And right after that, he flies home. Was that a planned trip home? We don't know because his
Yeah.
parents aren't talking, but her parents seem surprised. He was at home and where's Gabby's stuff? Nobody knows.
So you think
So,
like in that time he sort of made up his mind like, I can't stand this. But why not just leave? I guess. I guess there's people that don't do that. But that first through 11th is always something that stood out to me because there's no posts, and then it was also where were they?
right.
Because were they in Moab for a lot of that time? And that made me actually think more about that they knew the two people that were murdered, but apparently, like maybe they were camping up in the same mountains because they met them and said, "Hey, yeah, come up here." And but it doesn't sound like that is reality. But you're saying that maybe in that time frame something developed in his mind mentally,
Maybe.
and then he took off on the 17th. It's also weird that on the 12th they were taking photos,
Yeah.
and then
But I truly don't think those photos are from that day because they were at the coffee shop or the Wi-Fi place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They got pulled over at what, 5:30? That report was put in at 5:30. So when exactly were they off at the arches taking photographs? I think those were recycled photos because they also had pictures from the arches on the 31st.
So did they go to that one arch? What was the name of that one? It was a famous one. Hold on. Delicate Arch. When she was sitting on it.
Excuse me.
I can't remember what day that was, but I think that was the 12th or 13th, actually, wasn't it? Was there any pictures on the 13th? On hers?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's look.
Because now I'm trying to remember if that was the. Let's see. That's not the one.
So on the 12th, then no, not again until the weird photo on the 19th where she's speaking in present time. And she says, almost immediately after telling Brian how happy it made me to see that people were truly respectful of the park, I watched some guy leave his processed, prepackaged plastic conglomerate of lunch garbage on a picnic table. That was August 19th. But if you look at the photograph, that photo right there where his shoulder is in it and her arm,
yeah,
and they're looking out the door, that photo is from August 4th. They had already posted it in their highlights above on August 4th. So I read it as she's speaking in present tense. But no, she wasn't because they had already posted that entire photograph.
So this image of the delicate arch,
Mm-hmm.
the one that they're both sitting on kissing, could that be that they write?
I feel like that was really from maybe the 31st.
And I'd like to zoom in. I could actually figure that out based on the shadow angles and using that program that I've got. What time that was taken? I should probably do that at some point.
Yeah, because this doesn't seem right unless
They
after
got together.
5:30 they weren't allowed to see each other that day.
But
Keep
what does
in
that mean?
mind.
What does that mean though? Like somebody goes in a hotel, you call them up on the phone and go, hey, let's she drives by, picks them up, and they go out there. But that'd be hard.
Possible.
That'd be tough though. It seems like to get all the way out there. Although that time of year, well, it should be light for what 8 till 8 something.
Probably.
I don't know.
It doesn't seem. No. You know why? Because this says August 12th. Now listen. On a calm Monday morning, Brian and I decided to take a highly trafficked hike to the Delicate Arch. On a calm Monday morning? I don't think so.
And what day is
Because
that?
from 9 a.m. on, they had been doing their website. They just didn't think the domestic incident was going to get in the way.
Well, and also the 12th is
show
Thursday.
that this isn't true.
Well, the 12th is also Thursday, so that doesn't make any sense. You know, so Monday's the 9th.
So these are not,
Yeah.
these photos don't prove to us a really good timeline necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Because if these were from Monday and she didn't post them until Thursday, then
So they're going to go back out there again?
Which is strange. It just doesn't make any sense. What was July 31st? Was July 31st the Monday? No, that was a Saturday. So we have no idea when these photos were taken.
Yeah. It's weird, though, too, because they
idea.
were in the conversation with the cops. They mentioned Delicate Arch.
Mm-hmm.
And they were heading, apparently, I don't know. You think they were actually going in there again on the 12th? Because remember, they were pulled over on the way there. I don't know.
I'm just reading some more of what she was saying. Very strange. Very strange. And then she doesn't post again until the 19th. And for sure, we know that that's not the same day. And then, you know, her last post was August 25th. And she's holding a little pumpkin saying, Happy Halloween. Just what a sad, terrible case. I don't know why I really do feel it was premeditated. I think there is no logical reason until we find out the logical reason of him flying home to move their belongings out. Now, people have said that they've looked at Brian's parents and neither is wearing their wedding rings. I don't know how true that is. There are pictures that we do have now from the FBI taking them out. I didn't even look to see if the wedding rings were on, but people were saying that they were getting divorced and that's why they wanted him back home to get the stuff out of the house. I really don't know how true that is.
I'm not leaning toward. I think it's more something happened, that same type of fight that they always had, and he just had enough and just, you know, strangled her. Or if he shot her, that's a little different. Somebody randomly said that. I don't have any, you know, proof. But if there's a shot, I really doubt. I mean, if there's a shot, I'll be shocked out of my mind. Not only because you could hear it all over the place out there. It would also be a different level now. Strangulation's personal, where a shot is kind of like you just want to kill somebody almost. I don't know. It's a different feeling to it. So, and strangulation's pretty weird too because it takes 3 or 4 minutes. So that means you didn't recover from your snapping, right?
Right.
Yeah, the anger.
And he ends up getting the pizza. You know, she calls her dad to get her an Uber Eats. Then Brian returns here, the 23rd.
And then
the 24th, they check out together. And someone said that there is surveillance video of them leaving together.
Yeah, so they obviously he flies back. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the surveillance, but they come back he comes back on the 23rd. Obviously, then they spend the night. But I wonder where she was, though. Did she just...
I'm guessing at the hotel because she did get the pizza from her dad, the Uber Eats. Unless Uber Eats is delivering to a campsite or a van, maybe.
Yeah, but it seems like
I thought she was at the van. Maybe because he wasn't there and she was nervous of being alone in the van?
Yeah, I mean, I would have stayed in the hotel. I would, if I was a parent, I would have told her to stay in the hotel. But I wonder if part of that time she was somewhere else and then went to that hotel waiting for his return, or was she there from all the way from the 17th to the 23rd? That's a long time just to kind of be doing nothing. And was she communicating with her parents a lot during that time? I don't know.
Well, her mom said that she was in touch on a regular basis. Her friend said that she was in touch on a regular basis. It seems like she was very close to her dad. I don't know. Because they check out together. Her last post is the 25th. She also FaceTimes her mother. Witnesses see the van at Jenny Lake. August 25th, 26th, they came into a store and were talking about their trip. Then August 26th, someone saw Brian at that bar. I don't know how true that video is with the whole New York accent deal. I don't know. But then the 27th, she Snapchat her friend. Now, if she didn't Snapchat her face or it wasn't a live, I don't even think you can do that. So technically, we don't know where she was after here, do we?
After
No,
which
we
one?
don't. After the 25th, where a witness says that they came into the store, because he's alone here. Anybody can use your phone and send a Snapchat
I thought there was like a
message.
Jenny Lake sometime around there. Was that the 20?
Jenny Lake was the 25th.
Yeah, 25th.
Right. So we don't, I'm saying after the 25th, we don't know where she was for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I think she died between the 25th and 27th.
Mm-hmm.
And based on some of this other stuff, it seems like I think it was the 26th late at night, and then on the 27th, he just didn't do anything. I think she actually might still be in that van with him when that door closes, which is really
Possibly.
crazy, because then on the 27th at night, I think he moved her body. Let's see, what was I coming up with? And then what else is going on the 20th? Yeah, so it was seen at 6 something. Then at night, her body was moved to wherever she was found. Then he got his backpack on. He's kind of panic mode. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just sort of wanders up to that town. He's trying to figure out what's he gonna do. And then he just goes, "Oh, screw it! I gotta get back home." And then he hitchhikes back on the 29th with that TikTok girl.
Miranda, yeah.
Takes her, and then he gets back to the van that night, and I think that's kind of when
he leaves.
he starts leaving and
Excuse
preparing, and then he goes and gets gas or whatever, and then he's out of there.
Brian Enton has Brian had a pizza delivered the 15th and asked pizza guy who ordered it, said Brian.
What's that? I don't see that.
I'm not sure. That the 15th doesn't really
Yeah, it doesn't
matter though, because we know, as far as we know, they're okay on the 15th.
Well, that she's
He
alive.
doesn't leave till the 17th. Yeah, she's definitely alive because she FaceTimes her mother.
Yeah, the only really
the
crucial
25th.
things are the 12th, because it shows something that they were doing. And then we move all the way to the 25th. I mean, really, in reality, because she's absolutely alive on the 25th, talking to her mom on FaceTime, I guess. And then something happened. The other dates are cool because you can put them in as timeline information, but the reality is the death occurred after the 25th, and between
people are saying it was some kind of prank. I don't know. I have no idea. So we know that by the 30th, so her mom, and people are saying that this lady said that this is her mom's birthday too. So she texts her mom, "No service, Yellowstone." The mother did not think it was her. And then Brian is in Illinois at 2 different gas stations with Gabby's card. And then by the 1st, he's back.
Mm-hmm. I believe that gas station one too, because it goes right through that town.
Yeah, they must have run her credit card.
Okay, hold on one second. I know how much you guys hate the auctioneer button, so here's the thing. Hit the like button, all right? Look at that damn thing. 1,662 people and only 282 likes. That's
How
ridiculous.
dare you guys.
So you got 10 seconds to get that sucker up, or you're going to be listening to
we're going to have to listen to the auctioneer guy, guys. Hurry up.
Get that. You got to get that to at least 500-600 here real quick. 431 now. That's pretty good.
All right, very nice.
Well, yeah, now keep going. 469. If it doesn't hit like 600 here, and just within.
Guys, don't let him play it. Don't let him do it.
some people like it though. 561.
Oh, I'm sure some people like it because they're nuts.
Yeah, and also if you'd like to become a channel member, that'd be great. We're going to be doing, you get the emojis and live, like you guys can actually call in and so forth.
Come
for
on up.
Members only. We're not going to call it a panel, though. Thank you.
No, Gray hates the word panel, so you're just gonna call. Okay, we're just all gonna talk.
You're going to come up on screen. Okay. Right? Because a panel are for people when they come up and there's knitting going on up in the upper left-hand corner.
Oh my god!
Somebody
And
playing.
everybody's talking over each other.
Yeah.
And making my face hurt. We're not gonna do that, though.
All right, we got to 6:30. That means 1,000 of you still haven't hit it. Wow.
You bastards. Don Wells is innocent. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Donnie. All right, so Don Wells is in the chat.
It's amazing.
No.
Wow.
I know. Tupac's probably next, perhaps Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gabby's reported missing on September 11th. September 15th, they call him a person of interest. They put no law enforcement on him, no eyes on him. Nobody really cares where he is. The parents, on the 17th, ask law enforcement to come to their home because Brian is missing. Up until that point, a lawyer spoke for them. They've answered no questions. They have not participated. But now their son is missing. So the search begins for him. And then on the 20th, we all know Gabby's body was found. And the FBI was searching inside Brian's home. They did take the Mustang. Right now, they're, I'm sure every channel's live showing that they are searching in the wilderness for him right now at that big area where the car was found. Yeah. So that is where we are with the Gabby case.
What's the name of that? Let me hold on.
On August 27th.
So Red, White, and Bethune, basically, they pretty much are the reason that Gabby was found. I mean, I think if there wasn't that van, who the hell would ever know that van was there? They would have found her at some point because I guess apparently she was out in the open, but it could have been months and next year sometime. It's kind of across.
And, it caught social media's attention. There was no way that it wasn't going to happen. Now, Gray Hughes has enhanced the video.
Yeah, well, what I did was I downloaded.
Opening and closing.
Yeah, let me switch over to the.
I'm going to stop my screen share.
Okay. Oh wow! Look at that timing. That was so fast.
We're good, Gray. We are good.
Yeah. So.
Hey, wait! Pause. Have you seen us cooking together yet on Big Bother?
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Okay, move on. Go ahead.
Oh God. God. That's on. What's the name of that channel? It was,
NewsTubers Live.
NewsTubers.
Yeah, you're gonna see it. She's in the chat actually, and we are cooking. We are. You with the blink. I can't. You have to go see it. It's that thing looks exactly like you.
Oh come on! I think I've seen that one. It's got a beard and the hat.
Stop it! He looks just like you. And mine has the little thing on top. Oh my God, terrible. Anyway.
Let's see. Oh yeah, let me throw this one up here. So, I downloaded the 4K version and then had to do some stuff to get it into Adobe Premiere here. And when you look at it, even when you just watch it regular size and everything, if you have it in front of you, you can see what looks like the door opening. And I really feel like at this point it's I'm 99.9% sure that that's exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to move it. I'll just move it forward to that area. I don't know what this little line is. It keeps happening in the middle of the screen right there, but it wasn't there before. But let me get to about the spot here.
And you can see his sandals right there too. So
yeah, I think these guys even said that there were sandals because they got out of their car. Mm-hmm. That must have freaked whoever out was in there. Right?
Yeah, they said they went and knocked on the van door and everything. Nobody answered. It was just dark.
Oh, God. You know how he was just freaking out at that
I know.
point. See, look at it right there.
Mm-hmm. That is nuts. And he hears them and he closes the door.
Yeah. And then also.
This is just so you know, you guys know me especially. You never want to say, "Oh, guilty, guilty, guilty." This guy, there's just no way.
Yeah, and I don't
There's
normally
no way.
do that kind of. I'm not into that shadows and stuff, but that was one. Now look at this right here. This is the footage of him shutting it, the door. Now look how
Oh,
look at that. Look at. I mean,
Zach, come
that's
on.
exactly the same, right? Exactly the same. And the left is the one that's shut, and the right shuts on it, just like you see there. I think
Absolutely.
that. So I mean, I guess we have to admit that it is possible that it's her in the van. If she's not, we don't know when exactly. My theory is that she's already dead at this point.
Oh,
However,
yes,
but
they got out and knocked on the van door. Yeah.
but look at that right there. Isn't that exactly the same? I mean, it's crazy. You go to that, and then you flip back over to this one, and maybe go. Let me just go to the section where you can see it. How about like right there, right? So then go back over to here. It's just a little slightly different angle because you can see part of the side here. The other one's almost straight on. But yeah, so I can't see that being an anomaly at this point at all.
No.
So, and it's even in shots like that, you can see that it's a little bit lower as it would be because it would open that part on the right. But anyways, so we got that, and for those of you who missed it, the location of that van is right in that segment that the FBI released right here. That's the map that they did. I did an overlay on the ground, and then you could tell that they came in from this road because there isn't a road going that way. So they came in, and I don't know when they came in, or we don't even know if he came in. She's dead in the van, and he parked there so that he could dispose of her at night or something like that. I mean, they could have been somewhere else, then went there, right? I mean, it'd be great to have the information on when they came in. Was there a witness that actually saw them come in and remembers? So this is where the van was exactly. It's not a guess, or if you go back and watch any of the videos I made, it was parked right here, right by this tree here, and just as it's about to turn again. So it's exactly parked there, and then using the helicopter footage and all of that, we were able to determine that she was found. The tent was right over here. She was found in this clump of trees right there. Okay, so then if you measure that distance from the van, it's only about 300 yards. And if you go back to an August time frame, this is about what it would look like this. It wouldn't be a bunch of water running down. You can see that the water changes, goes in different places sometimes, but it's only about 300 yards away. So there you go, everybody. You got all that information. I think the TikTok girl was huge for us, anyways, because on the 29th, she picked him up and moved him, hitchhiking. He wanted out, right? He was like, "Oh my God, you're going too far." I think what he said to her was, I need to head towards Jackson. She says, he wants to go to Jackson. I don't think he said that. I think he said, I need to head towards Jackson. And then he thought maybe she was going to turn this way, but she didn't, or he didn't, whoever was driving. And he goes, "Oh yeah, can you let me out, I got to go." Because he recognized that he needed to go east right here. So that's exactly why. The reason we believe that he went east is because he got dropped off right here at this parking area. Then he walked across the street to this parking area, which means at that point he wants a ride going north again. Or he just would have stayed over here and kept going south with somebody else. So he walked across the street, wanted to go north again. And the only reason he'd want to go north again would be to go this way because he'd already came from this way. He would have told him way up here, "Oh wait, I don't want to go that way." Right? So what he did was he probably got out here, or if somebody miraculously was driving and turned right, wouldn't be miraculous, maybe 50%. Turn right, there's cars on it, you can see it. And
Yeah,
then
he had to get back.
Yeah, and then he just would have came down like this, continuing, and then he would have got out at. Let me turn on the roads. Is that it? Roads.
And correction, they did not. They said we were going to stop, but it looked like no one was there. Mm-hmm. All the doors were shut, windows were shut, everything was dark.
Yeah.
So that's a rumor. They did not get out and knock on the van.
But I didn't ever heard that he knocked on the van.
No, I've heard it several times now, but
it sounds like on the way back they stopped or something on the way back. Maybe they didn't knock on it.
Possibly.
Maybe they looked at it.
I'm going to mute for a second. There's somebody at my door. I'll be right there.
Yeah. So from this exit right here, you would have driven down, gotten a ride, down like this, then 26 this way, and then right here got out, and then would have came down USF S 30290 in like this, and got back to the van on the 29th. And I think that was 6 something at night as well, if I remember right. Yeah, something like 6 something. And would have got back into the van, figured out what he was going to do, and he took off that night. So what's interesting about that is if he took off on the 29th, then that text message that he sent on the 30th is not going to be made in the Yellowstone area. It'll be interesting when they come back and they say that the text message was made, let's just throw out a guess here, somewhere I don't know, maybe I don't know if it goes through Nebraska or not. Man, I'm not sure where my places, maps, and there it is, borders. There we go. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, maybe through Nebraska.
Sorry.
Yeah, so what I was just saying was, I think he left on the 29th, right? Got back to the car. I don't know what you're thinking about that. Do you know what time? Here's the thing. Do you know what time the text message was on the 30th? Because I think now that is going to show that text message was sent way 1,000 miles away. If it was sent at like 8 in the morning, he's already been driving for a long.
I can tell you. One sec.
I'm not sure if there was a time, but maybe there was. Because he needed to get home. He probably was just wandering around, Vet Girl. Completely, he didn't know what he was doing. That's why I don't think it was like really planned out well. And then he thought, well, I got to get back to the van. I'm just going to drive right straight home. So he made his way back to the van and he took off. Of course, there's a million other options. That's just my theory there. What's that?
I'm not seeing an exact time, but
I don't remember seeing a time on that.
Hope to hear from her soon. No.
Yeah, see? Yeah, it was 5:50, right? So right around 6 o'clock at the dam. And then he probably got back to his car, 8, 9 at night on the 29th. I guess it's possible that he slept in the van until the morning. Because nobody's looking for Gabby. That's one of the things we sort of forget a little bit. Is that nobody's looking for Gabby at all for another 12 days. Okay,
I know.
So he's in that van. So he could have slept during that night, got up early in the morning, made that last text message showing that it's pinging in the area on the 30th. And then he has all the first, and then he gets there at 10 in the morning on... you got the 31st. You would have the rest of the day, the 30th to drive, the whole 31st, and then he got there at 10 something in the morning on the 1st. So it's easily done, actually, that amount of time. It takes 36 hours. He could have even slept at a certain point.
Robbie's asking, well, why would he have left the van? You mean while he was hitchhiking around? Maybe he thought he was going to try to go escape.
Yeah, maybe go to Canada or something.
Had a new plan or something and thought, well, shit, I better not do that.
Yeah, and then they could track down. I don't know. I just don't think he had a clue what the hell he was doing. He seems really discombobulated all over the place.
I mean, I'm looking at a picture of him in Moab on August 13th. He is up the side of I don't want to say a mountain, but whatever this is, with a bowl in his hand, a spoon in his mouth, and no shoes on.
What picture is that?
The guy is a little odd. You haven't seen this one?
I don't know if I haven't seen it.
I can share it with you. It's
all right,
strange.
Here we go.
Look at this.
But he has other ones that day too, right? Standing around.
Oh yeah, he does. He's quite a character, this guy.
He's just he's one.
I mean, no shoes. We knew that he likes to hike without shoes, which, okay, whatever, fine. But this photo, you're up there with a spoon, I'm guessing, a bowl.
Okay, you don't.
No shoes on.
Listen, you just don't understand. He's just one with nature. Okay.
Yeah, he's one with nature.
He's so listen. He won't even have a drink out of a plastic water bottle, even if it was to save his life from dehydration.
In the desert.
Oh yeah.
It's hot.
He could be on his deathbed, laying on the ground, choking, and somebody goes, "Would you like a drink of water?" And he looked and saw it was a plastic bottle, and he said, "No, I'm going to die.
I'm good, thanks.
Before I even touch the plastic on that thing."
Yeah, you see him try and give it to him, and he's just, no, I don't like plastic. No.
I wonder if he has anything that's made out of plastic.
Okay, sir.
What a hypocrite.
All right. I mean, I don't know what that bowl's made out of, but...
Hey, let me ask you something, sir. What's the outer part of your cell phone made out of? Okay. All right. Well, that's not biodegradable.
Uh-oh, it did it, because I didn't tell you, Gray. Damn it.
there
I'm so good at this. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a button clicker.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. Yeah. So we've got everything's mapped out. Now we're just trying to find Brian, I guess. And by we, I mean law enforcement. Now, if anybody's out there, then, and you see him, make sure to report it. Don't go, "Hey everybody, look, here's a picture that I took of somebody. Do you guys think that I should turn this into law enforcement?" People do that all the time. It's amazing.
Yeah. I get, emails and all. I'm like, yes. If you think it's important, do that. I don't know. Of course you should. Now we should, we also have the other case there, Daniel.
Yeah.
That we should try to share.
And believe it or not, we fully expect about 800 of you to bail right now because you're only interested in one thing.
You're only interested in Gabby.
But before you leave, would you hit that like button? I am now going to look at. We are at 2596 with only 868, and now I'm going to have to do it. Unfortunately, it's only going to be a minute, and then we're going to switch to the other case. Here we go.
Hit that
like button, hit the 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 like button, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, hit the like button.
30, now 5, I'm 30.
All right, we got up to 945. Come on, get to 1,000. Come on, keep going. Oh, man. Pretty good.
Woman of Steel sent a super chat. Thank you. If he got home on the 1st of September, he had 10 days to take off unnoticed. His parents might have cleaned out their savings and sent him anywhere in the world. What do you think? If it's my son and I'm trying to save him, you never know what you'll do as a parent. You just don't know. If you really thought, Jesus, he did something awful, and your son is, maybe he was coddled, maybe he was their little baby. I have no idea. But absolutely, they could have sent him somewhere. Why not? He's had all these days. Oh no, newstubers clip me saying button clicker.
There's some people out there that still think that did he ever come back to Florida? He drove the car. He drove the van back. He might have left on that same day when he got back.
Sure.
And so that would be more like what you're saying. It's kind of interesting about he already cleared his stuff out of his house. Then when he gets back, he immediately takes off. And all this stuff with the Mustang is a total ruse by the parents. Didn't happen.
Could be. Yeah, how are they going to prove it? You can't prove that.
Didn't one neighbor say he saw him? Or she say that?
Allegedly, yeah. I mean, they said they saw him, but, we don't know. Was that the next day? Was that September 2nd? Where has he been? Where is this guy? He's like a ghost. He's invisible. I mean, no cops were on him. Nobody knew anything, right? So nobody knows anything until the 11th. So nobody's keeping their eye on him because they don't need to. And then he has that bit of time to just run.
Yeah, it's just...
Thanks, Jiggy.
So he gets home on the 1st, puts the van there, and then he just takes off. And the van's just sitting there for 10 days. Maybe he's not even around.
Yeah,
Weird.
He could look completely different now. Who knows?
What do I love, Veritas? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
You're wrong, Veritas.
Great.
Remember? Veritas is the guy that Chris M put up on his screen.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah, that was ridiculous. God.
To like 18,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That was terrible.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
That really was. Let's see. All right, you want to switch over to the other case?
We can. Are you going to present? Do you want me to present?
You can. I think I haven't looked into as much as you have, but
yeah, I only started this morning, but I think it's important. So, and there are so many now that are. I think the Gabby's case did good for people because now their cases are getting out there, and it's important. So, this one is strange. Gray thinks possibly a mental health issue. All right, I just click share.
okay.
I don't think it's a mental health issue. I can't find anything about depression or anything like that. But because it was getting no attention, his father has hired a private investigator to find his son, who was last seen in the Arizona desert. And let's see what this video says here.
I'm Justin Walters, and welcome to the Grio Top 3, where we count down the top trending stories of the day. Here are your top stories for September 21st. Coming in at number 3.
Really?
Jeezy and Jenny Muck.
Really? This is what we're doing here?
I've seen that in True Crime Life.
Okay, I don't like that. So, a South Carolina man has hired a private investigator and started an online petition to help him find his missing son. Daniel Robinson, 24, was last seen driving away from his job site in Buckeye, Arizona desert on June 23rd. His father, David Robinson, has been organizing search parties, launched a website, and hired a private investigator after he felt law enforcement authorities were not providing much help. Daniel Robinson is described as 5'8", black man who weighs 165 pounds. He has black hair, brown eyes, and he is missing part of his right forearm, including his hand. He graduated from the College of Charleston 2 years ago with a major in archaeology. He moved to Arizona to temporarily work for Matrix New World Engineering and was a field geologist. Jeff McGrath, the investigator, said Daniel was driving a blue-gray 2017 Jeep Renegade, which, according to its black box, was involved in a crash. It was found in a ravine, its airbags deployed, and it appeared to have landed on its side. According to McGrath, vehicle data indicates it was driven for 11 miles after the initial crash.
Yeah.
More accidents occurred, and it was cranked up 40 additional times afterwards. After the crash, somebody cranked it 40 more times. The young man's clothing, cell phone, wallet, and keys were found at the scene. So his clothing, his cell phone, his wallet, his keys. and a search was launched, but Daniel has not been discovered. In early July, the Arizona Civil Air Patrol reportedly conducted an extensive day-long search for him by air and land. The Buckeye Police Department is still working on the case. They found the vehicle, but they didn't do a forensic type investigation because they didn't see any blood in the vehicle. They didn't swab for DNA or some of the typical things they would do in some of these investigations. I expressed these concerns, and they decided, because of that, to swab the vehicle to look for fingerprints at the police compound where the vehicle is being stored. Buckeye Police say they're still working the case, but based on the personal effects found in Daniel's vehicle, no foul play is suspected. His father disagrees. The missing Daniel has a mother who is sick, a 29-year-old brother, a 27-year-old twin sisters, a 14-year-old sister, and none believe he would just abandon them. That narrative is out there. My son would not just walk off on his own. Of course, as a family, we don't agree with that at all, and we're still working some things out. He has set up a GoFundMe to help with the cost of searching for Daniel. Like, this dad is not giving up at all.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. The how long did it drive after the first crash? Again?
11 miles.
See, that's what I was wondering about. Is actually in the first crash, did he hurt his head? I remember reading that. That's what I was thinking about with the mental, and he also had his behavior was different. But he hit his head, and then he's like still driving, and then there's some weird. Then it's erratic and stuff, and the whole part about trying to start it up 40 times again. Again, yeah. Everybody, look at the kind of crap that your car's recording, by the way.
Your car knows what is happening.
Yeah. Okay.
It knows. Let's see what this video says.
More than 2 months ago.
Daniel Robinson disappeared on June 23rd in the far West Valley. He was last seen leaving his work site in Buckeye that morning. A month later, his Jeep was found in a ravine, but there was no sign of Daniel.
Team 12's Josh Sanders spoke with the private investigator hired by Robinson's family, who has not given up hope of finding Daniel.
Jeff McGrath is an expert at reconstructing accidents, but says when he saw the state of Daniel's Jeep, something was off.
Immediately when I saw the vehicle, I noticed there was something that wasn't right with it.
On July 21st, nearly a month after his disappearance, Daniel Robinson's 2017 blue Jeep Renegade was found rolled over in a ravine just miles from his work site, the airbags deployed, and no sign of the 24-year-old.
The damage didn't match with the terrain and where it was laying.
Where's my son? Daniel's father, David, brought in private investigator Jeff McGrath to piece together what led up to the crash. Buckeye Police handed over the Jeep and their report from the vehicle's airbag control module, or ACM, showing what happened after the airbags were deployed. McGrath's team ran their own analysis.
After the airbags came out, somebody turned that ignition over at least 46 more times. That's not
46.
Normal. We usually see 1 or 2 because it adds 1 when we download the box. We have to put power to it.
The ACM also reports the vehicle's speed.
There's an additional 11 miles on the car since the airbags deployed. So that tells me the car was driven around after it crashed.
Buckeye Police are now analyzing data from the Jeep's entertainment system connected to Daniel's cell phone. McGrath says the system shows the Jeep was involved in a collision around 1 p.m. on June 23rd, nearly 4 hours after he was last seen.
We have a gap in time, and we don't know where he went, what was going on at that point.
Doesn't sound like they have his GPS information.
What?
Well, it didn't sound like they knew exactly. I wonder when they say 11 miles, is that because they have him on GPS going 11 miles, or was it that the tires were spinning? Like maybe it was like, zzz, upside down.
Well, there was an initial crash, and then there maybe was this one at the very end of it, because this is where they found it at the end.
Oh yeah, and then if it went 11 miles, yeah.
So they knew it had an impact, and then they tried to start 46 times.
Yeah.
And it drove 11 miles, and then it ended up there. But what I found a little odd is all of his belongings were there, including his clothing. So did he get in the accident and then tear all his clothes off and try to go for help?
Yeah. Let's show those other. I'll switch back to my screen.
Yep.
And then we can show some of these pictures here. Yeah, we only lost 800 people. That's not too bad. That's good.
And also, just an FYI, too, they've cleared air traffic over the preserve and the search for Brian. So does that mean they've now found something? Did they find Brian and they don't want to?
Or they want to use helicopters over there and don't want air traffic. I don't know. Maybe.
Possibly.
All right, so here's the thing. It says, last seen on June 23rd, 2021, driving a blue 2017 Jeep Renegade away from his job site near Sun Valley Parkway in Buckeye. His cell phone pinged, but no location data was available. See, that's what I'm saying. How do they know? See, he said that the car, if the tires were just spinning, although, it's weird because where it was found, it doesn't seem like it would be able to spin. But what if they think it traveled 11 miles, but it was really just the tires spinning while the car was there? But would it be hard to spin on its side because part of the wheels would be hitting the ground? I don't really know anything about that.
Well, this is the initial missing poster, right? Because it says area searches have been conducted, but they hadn't found the vehicle or the cell phone at that time. Now they have, after they hired the private investigator.
Oops, wrong one. Hold on.
Oh, you're just going the wrong way. You're going to show all our business in here.
Well, no, that was the thumbnail. How about this one right here? This one's from 9/16. Is that something we need to look at?
Yeah, that's the news release. I don't even know, because it tells a landowner spotted his Jeep in the ravine.
Yeah, it's not opening for some reason. A second.
I mean, it doesn't really say much, so it doesn't say much at all.
That's crazy.
There is a picture of the Jeep as well. I mean, it is just... Finally, God. You can see the clothes right there on the ground. So his clothes are there. I mean, what the hell? To me, it's very odd. And I did send you something too, and I'll read it to our chat. Okay. Keith Alexander tweeted, "This is the nephew of a friend of mine." He's talking about this gentleman. "My buddy said the Phoenix media told him after numerous pleas for coverage that they had no real interest in this story at this time."
Yeah. We got Gabby's
going on. You see how this works? It's such shit.
Yeah. We don't have interest at this time because we got, there's the Gabby case. No, there's not enough people covering it at this point. Look at, have you guys noticed how crazy this is? I mean, every single news channel brings it up at least 4 times an hour.
Absolutely.
Every one of them, every YouTuber anywhere is covering it. They'll even just recently, they'll go, ooh, I can't miss out on the wave. It's weird, right? I wish it was more organic out there, right?
Yeah. I wish we were all, it's fine to cover what's happening. It's a breaking case. It's moving quick. But there's so many other people. There's so many.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we're going to, keep covering these types of cases, any kind of any cases out there that we find interesting or need coverage, we'll bring it up.
Exactly.
So let's see what this one says. Daniel Robinson was reported missing on June 23rd, 2021. He was last seen that day leaving a job site near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. Since his disappearance, the Buckeye Police Department has worked with outside agencies to search more than 70 square miles in an effort to locate Daniel. Investigators have utilized UTVs, cadaver dogs, and air support, including a drone and helicopter. On July 19th, a landowner spotted Daniel's Jeep in a ravine. So this is, 2 months ago? Because of the rough terrain, the vehicle was not clearly visible to crews searching by air and on foot. And also the car is dark, so it kind of blended in a little bit. The vehicle had significant damage. Later that month, on July 31st, 2021, a human skull was located in an area south of where the Jeep had been recovered. It was later determined the remains did not belong to Daniel. I mean, man. So here's the thing: there are a lot of bodies in the desert. Everybody, just to let you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there really are. No additional human remains have been found, despite online reports claiming otherwise. Other remains recovered during searches were determined to be animal bones. Buckeye Police continue to analyze evidence and explore leads. Anyone with information that can help solve this case and bring closure to Robinson's family is urged to call the Buckeye Police Department non-emergency number at 623-349-6400. There you go. So.
And we'll keep up with this one as well as Jelani's case. You know.
Do you know where that is? Like, let's try to. Is there any way we could try to find that spot where his car was?
Yeah.
Just to have it. Let me.
Can you get that information off of that press release? Do you need me to read it?
I didn't think it was on there specifically. It said landowner.
Leaving a job site near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road.
Right, that's where he left.
Then, let's see. I can tell you. Let me just double check.
And this is Arizona, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm not. It's actually in this case with the other case that we're talking about, Gabby. It is important that social media has made a big difference, and I guess the more people that cover it, the better. But wouldn't it be nice? I guess is what I'm talking about. That other cases had the same wave of curiosity and attention.
Yeah, we're not saying it's bad because social media helped, but it's another conversation for another day. I don't want to say anything that's going to offend people. Okay, so he left a job site near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. Then the Jeep Renegade was found 4 miles southwest of the work site.
What can you in Buckeye? Is it Sun Valley Parkway and say that again?
Cactus Road.
I'll put that in there.
In Buckeye.
Yeah. No, so that's in what town is that?
Wow, I actually have the exact location, and knowing you and your crazy skills on that thing, you can look it up because here it is.
Let me put this here.
There you go.
So Sun Valley, and man, I don't see any businesses out there.
Well, remember,
he's a geologist.
Out there digging. He's a geologist, so yeah.
Where did you put it?
I just sent it to your Facebook.
Okay.
The exact location.
Like GPS coordinates?
Well, a picture with an arrow.
Okay. Okay.
But once you find it, you're going to be able to match it up and be like, aha.
And they're saying 3 miles away. Let's see. Everything's really slow on Facebook these days. Oh yeah. This I think I did see this one. Yeah. See how you can barely even see that thing? I think I have that picture actually in my folder here. Let's see. No, I don't. Let me save it to this folder. Yeah, so way, look at that, way down there. And those are people right here.
Oh, wow. Little ant people. There you go.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's see if it's something that really just sticks out. 3 miles away, they said? How many miles?
It says...
From that location.
4 miles southwest.
Of that last location?
Of that last location, okay. Yes.
So I'm going to just do 4.17 just for the hell of it. And you're saying southwest?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's the spot right there, that little... It could very well be. Let's see.
I mean, that is just,
I think
gosh, you crash out there. How do you get saved?
I think that's it.
What do you do?
Hold on. What do you think?
Ah, there you go.
That's
a little bit. Yeah.
Let me just move it a little bit like that. I mean, that spot in the background, that little dry, whatever that area is.
That's a good.
It looks very similar. As a matter of fact, I even see the road going around. I'm almost 100% that is, and then I think it's more like this, about like that angle back, and I think it might even.
Gray keeps a map of almost every case that he covers.
I think it might even be right in here. Hold on.
That's what he does. Thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you. Man, it's so close.
Yeah, he must have been going really fast. That is quite a ways. And what? I don't know.
I think it's right.
Stripping off clothes after traumatic brain injury isn't unheard of. Yeah. Yeah. It's just. I mean, it's yet another odd case, and there are so many out there right now. And his dad is so passionate about finding his son that your heart, you just have to want to try to give it some coverage and help in any way you can, because
I got it.
This man will not, he's like, nope, he did not leave on his own. I don't care. We're going to do everything we can, and that's it. So
hey, look
getting
at
his name out there might help.
Look at this craziness. Watch this. Okay. So
look at you, Gray.
You got that. Now watch this. Look at these bushes. 1, 2, 3, ding, ding. Right here. 1, 2, 3, bing, bing. Look at, you can see them.
You found it.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now I can tell you that is right in the middle, right there. I can see exactly where the car is. So let me.
I knew you'd find it off of that damn picture.
That's crazy.
I'd be out here for a month. So then we ended up in Utah accidentally. I don't know.
It was teamwork, because that's how we got the. Okay, now I've got it. Let me go back to that date that looked better.
I don't know how you do this, Gray. It's crazy. Yeah, Gray's the MVP, because I don't know.
Right there.
Where is the kid? Ambush. I don't know. Rotten. Where is he? I mean, they've searched out there and searched, and you can't find him. He's not there.
Right there. There we go. Crazy. So there you go. We got the spot. And where's the nearest road if we went to... Man, there's no even street view or anything. That's just so out of the middle of nowhere. I mean, this spot's here.
I mean, what in the world? I don't know. This is why Gray's good with the maps.
Well, the maps just help people visualize things. It does, and theorize, to be honest with you, because you sort of.
I mean, aren't those roads up there? I mean, that big spot thing is not a. I don't even know what that is.
This right here looks like.
What does it look like?
I don't know. There's nothing.
Nothing. Alien.
It looks like it used to be something almost. I mean, doesn't that look like concrete that's cracked?
Man, I think if you drive through there, allegedly, this is where aliens suck you up from.
Wow. Well, look at that. 1997 wasn't even there. So let's try to find a time. Okay, it wasn't even there in 2004. Not there in 2005. 2007. Oh, there we go. Now, June of...
What is that?
2007.
Does anybody know?
Maybe they're mining for something? I don't know. Oh, geez. That does look like... Oh, there... No, it's a site. Like a... Doesn't that look like excavation right there?
A rock sand quarrying area?
No, but look how that looks like...
like an excavation site?
It does kind of look like that. To me, anyway. Oops. Shit. Where the hell did that go?
From space.
Wow. It went like across the planet doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. Great. Yeah, there's not a street view, a road view, nothing. Like, that's the best view we're getting right now. And I don't even know what the hell that looks like.
Yeah, so it's 2000.
Doesn't look like anything.
That's 2010.
Ask the government. They might know, allegedly. Yeah, they might.
It's Area 52, maybe?
Okay, so pause.
Mm-hmm.
Northport Police sent an update to the media. Nothing has been found, and this is an ongoing criminal investigation. First time we've heard them say criminal investigation. It's always been a missing persons investigation. Now they're saying criminal. So they know he did something to Gabby.
Let me see. I'm gonna turn on photos and see if there's anybody thought to take a picture out here. There's one there of clouds. Oh, look, a dinosaur. Pareidolia.
Look, yeah. That looks like my puppy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see any photos. Wait, there's one over there. Let's see.
Okay. No, yes, we are talking about Daniel Robinson, not Gabby. I was just giving you guys an update before people start telling us in the chat.
Okay. So let's just see if there's anything else. I think that's probably a geological site, but that makes it kind of interesting because that's what he does, right?
Right. Was he driving there to... Because he was at one site and he left, and then 4 miles away, his Jeep is found with all of his belongings.
And it doesn't look like there's been much done with it for years, which is interesting. It's almost like they dug there and then went, yeah, no, because look at the shapes on the ground.
Yeah, you can see them over the years.
They
it's
don't
the same shapes.
Change at all. They're the same. That's a great one there because it's got shadows giving you depth of. Hey, thanks Sandy Lee G. So this one's really got some detail in there.
Sounds like somebody's digging outside of my home. I don't know what's going on.
It's a dog with a collar rubbing against a bowl, I can tell.
No, we're having a concrete patio put in, but I thought they were done for the day.
That's what my dog
said. Them leave. Now they're back.
Yeah, so there hasn't been anything done since then, but that looks like maybe that's what that maybe was back then.
Maybe,
and it's weird because they even made a road. Now there's, what's that? Was that there? Oh, no. Look at that.
Something small was there.
That's small, but then it got bigger. Watch. Now.
Oh, look at that. What is that? Well, there's cars there, so.
That was 2018.
And there's no labels over it, like.
No.
Company name.
Let me put that in there, maybe.
They said a resident saw his Jeep down there.
Yeah, if someone owned that land.
A neighbor? Where?
You know, somebody that owned that land. It just said landowner, not resident. Yeah. You know, you could own like 100 acres and go, oh, I went out to check it, and there was this. It's a wash. That's what I called that a wash in the Gabby case because it looks sort of like that. The river there, but yeah, well, that's where it was found. Let's see what kind of elevation we're.
That's where his Jeep was found.
Yeah,
we need to find him.
Not him, the Jeep.
His case is getting a good amount of traction now on Twitter, which is great. Jason Landry, same scenario.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually thinking of that case specifically. So right down here it's 1235, and then here that's 42 feet higher than there, so it's uphill.
So he went uphill?
Yeah, well, that's the wash. So let's see what it is if you came in like this. Maybe he was in.
Well, can you go to the can you draw a line from the Sun Valley and the Cactus? What logical road would he have used?
Well, maybe he came in here. If this is a geological site, yeah. I mean, maybe he came in like this, and so this is 1269 and 1280. So it's even uphill to that from. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. So you can even see that little look at the. I mean, not to, but this little scrape on the ground there, whatever the hell that is. Look at that right there.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
And then it goes that way.
That's crazy. Gas, oil, or electric supply field. Possibly, yeah. Thanks, Loch Ness. No, Donna, Jose's not escaping.
And the car is actually at the bottom, right in the center, right at the base of that.
Yeah, it's like it goes down in there.
An arroyo or something.
So maybe he thought he could drive across and get to that other field, and he just went down that ravine there. Just went straight down it. Because I don't think we have the speed that he was going yet.
I spelled
to
Jeep.
determine whether, you know.
I spelled Jeep with a G. You like Geep?
There you go. Why not? Geep. It's the Geep.
Let's see.
How is he getting money?
So what are the? Let's do that part again at the beginning where you're talking about how it the timing again. It crashed and then there was 11 miles. And...
Sure. So Robinson has not been heard from since he drove west from a job site, and then it tells you exactly where he went. So Buckeye Police and other agencies searching for him have scoured more than 70 square miles by ground and air using cadaver dogs, off-road vehicles, a drone, and a helicopter. He regularly works in remote areas as part of his job as a hydrogeologist with the engineering firm. So it would be normal that he would be out there, I think. Then...
And that's where he was last seen, so I guess we could look at it like this. You know, that's almost exactly what he did. That's the intersection. He would have driven like this into that weird geological site, I guess, and then boom, he's right there. So how did he drive 11 miles? See, I think the tires were spinning.
It could be. Let's see. No. There is an 11 additional miles on the car.
Yeah, but that's what would happen. With the tires just spinning.
If they were just spinning?
Yeah, because you can actually put miles by spinning.
David, the dad, hired an accident reconstructionist and private investigator. Immediately when I saw the vehicle, I noticed something wasn't right. The damage did not match with the terrain and where it was lying. McGrath downloaded the vehicle's information from the airbag control module and found the Jeep was started more than 40 times after the airbags had been deployed. After the airbags came out, somebody turned that ignition over 46 times. That's not normal. We usually see one or two. The ACM records also show the vehicle's speed after the airbags deployed. There's an additional 11 miles on the car since the airbags deployed. That tells me the car was driven around after it crashed. Police said they found multiple belongings of Robinson's, including his clothing, his cell phone, his wallet, and keys. Detectives immediately began searching for Robinson in the area by ground and air and are analyzing the evidence left in the car. Officials say foul play is not suspected. McGrath says the system shows the Jeep was involved in a collision at 1 p.m., nearly 4 hours after he was last seen. So he was last seen, at 9 a.m. at the first site. Then it was involved in a collision 4 hours later. We have a time gap, and we don't know where he went or what was happening. The activity with the vehicle is very suspicious, and any time we get a download that doesn't match. By looking at the photographs, it doesn't match the area. Sometimes those could be a staged event, and that looks staged to me. Detectives learned from family, friends, and coworkers that his behavior in the days prior to him going missing, he was not like himself at times, but there was no indication that he wished to harm himself or leave the area. Robinson's dad drove 1,800 to Arizona to find his son and has been working with the police. This is very out of character. He would never go anywhere without telling his family. Despite what I see and despite what I know, I really believe one day I'm going to find my son and I'll be able to put my arms around him again. At this time, McGrath does not believe Daniel's disappearance is criminal after discovering he may have been struggling with his mental health. We found it.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. I did see that yesterday.
Weeks prior to vanishing. This is very sad, and we want to bring Daniel home. We need to bring him home to his family so that they can have closure. Okay, so are they basing that because his dad said there were no mental health issues? His friends and coworkers said his behavior prior to him going missing was not like himself.
What if he, well, just to throw it out there, crashed his car into something out here? You know, he's just got something going on. He just bang, you know. I guess somebody would have noticed something, but maybe not. You know, maybe it was a wall. You know, we don't know what it looks like right over here.
Right.
And then he goes over here and his car flips on its side and the wheels are still going.
Keep turning.
And he's out inside and he's trying to start it because he does. You know, he's got hit in the head or something. Then he finally crawls out and he just sort of walks away out here somewhere. And he just hasn't been found because it's just so desert. You know, if he went the wrong way, there's nobody out there. I don't know. I mean, that's just sort of a theory, you know.
Well,
I mean, if he has mental issues, maybe. I mean, I don't know how that makes you crash into a building or anything like that.
no. I mean, if he was having mental health issues and he was depressed and he was going to kill himself, well, you know, you crash and then you know, take off your clothes, which could happen if he hit his head, sure. This just doesn't make any sense.
They wanted to recap of when it happened.
The recap of when it happened. The last time he was seen was on June 23rd. And then on July 21st, a rancher found the Jeep rolled over on its side in a ravine on his property. So that's where we are with his situation. So they saw him at work June 23rd. On July 21st, you know, they found the Jeep.
Yeah.
There have been between 75 and 200 volunteers who search every Saturday. And
well, this is interesting because this is his place of work, and isn't this kind of his place of work? I mean, you're right there. It's only 2.6 miles as a crow flies, but maybe it's, what was it, 3? Is that the number they gave us?
Mm-hmm. They have 4 miles southwest, they said.
Well, it definitely isn't quite that far. It is south.
They're probably just estimating in the news article.
And maybe that's how long it would to drive, because you have to go there and then down, and then you're kind of over there. Let's just see. We can figure it out ourselves. We just go like this. Bing, 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 bing. Just like that. And then they would have came around and kind of went like
Crazy
that.
shit the Gray does. You see this?
Well, it's 3.1, so they're just
3.1. There you go.
Yeah.
If I looked at that on a map, I'm not kidding you in the least bit. If you showed me where his job was, just this photo, I'd be like, yeah, that's like 25 miles or something. I don't know. I haven't a clue.
Yeah, so it's
just
almost like
yeah, that looks so far to me. Actually, I'd be like,
it does look like, because it looks like when you're up in a plane, you know. But what's weird is, I mean, isn't that kind of like he's found on his job site?
Kind of.
Because
it's only 3 miles.
This looks like an excavation site right here.
Yeah.
And
the rancher found him. I don't think that's a ranch.
Yeah, like the rancher may have let them look here. You know how you can lease out your land for excavation, whatever.
Right.
I'm not sure what they were looking for. Be interesting to know. But his car was found right there, just out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he, like this path. Because it's weird. It's interesting that path is right there. I mean, that could just be coincidental, but I don't know. Do not know. Any updates? What's going on right now?
Not a lot.
Today we were going to do a press conference, but we thought we'd come on anyways and just kind of go over stuff and the new case here, because we like doing this channel and show.
Yeah.
And it seems like you guys...
And we're going to cover so many different things on here.
Yeah.
So, you know, we were covering Summer, right? And then we're covering Gabby. and we've covered Jelani now, and now we've covered Daniel, and there were so many other things. Oh, we covered the Murdochs for a while, which
we still kind of almost have to get back
that's
to
just
some
crazy
of it because we were going to do some of the like Stephen Smith and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know.
So
right
yeah,
now,
there's lots of stuff that we're going to cover,
and none of them are just really simple. I've noticed, like even this.
No,
one.
not one thing has been simple so far. No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what I think what I've figured out though is the magic sauce for a case to be really huge is a social media presence by the individuals prior to them going missing, and and having videos and things associated.
Oh yeah, because people want to dig into their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
so if you're just somebody who's like, you know, this mom who never really posts anything except like cat videos, and you go missing, nobody cares. But you know, if you're a mom out here posting how, you know, you're gonna stab your husband like myself, then my story might go viral if I go missing, Gray, but you're the only one allowed to cover it. Okay. You'll know that I never really meant the things that I've said. So, and I also think the other aspect is there has to be some drama. There has to be some drama. If Candace and Don Wells were just like church-going folk, you know, and they just posted like prayer and pictures of angels,
never
and
went
stuff,
on lives,
nobody would have cared. Nobody would give a shit. And that's just how it is. I mean, right now there's a little girl missing in Hawaii, and I'm reading about her. She disappeared out of her bed. There were some CPS cases. The dad had a criminal record from 20 years ago for something, I don't know. But, you know, as I'm reading it, they're saying that local agency there is dealing with 40 such cases at any given time. And I'm thinking, what? It's not a very huge area. How do we not know about this? And why don't we know about a little girl who was last seen in her bed sleeping and is just vanished? Nobody knows where she is. And it just depends. You know, the parents were told not to get on social media, not to talk to anybody. So there's nothing out there about her. It's just silent.
Yeah, maybe they're already onto something there.
Maybe.
It's weird in the exactly in the Summer case. Imagine how this case would be if there was no swimming video, there was no TikTok presence. Nobody would be. It'd just be this girl that was missing. Maybe there'd be a couple people looking at it, and there'd be absolutely no excitement whatsoever. But because of all the videos that were out there, people analyze every little aspect. You know, the milk jugs and everything.
Yeah.
You know,
the bushes. There's people hiding in them.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Except there's.
So it's kind of weird. I wish there was a way to make it not like that. But
I do too. And for years upon years, we've had a Kanika Jenkins Facebook group, and I can tell you that the activity. I looked at the analytics. The activity was nil, nothing. There were 100 posts over the last 5 months. We changed it to current cases, and then, you know, / right now, Gabby Petito. So the group has just, you know, flown. Okay, everybody's talking about Gabby. So many people are mad. So many people are mad that we changed the name of the group, right?
They were misled. They were misled, you know. Bait and
nobody has talked about a missing persons case in here or Kanika or anything in 5 months. So why is everybody so upset? Either we want to help everybody or you're here for one person. And, you know, Kanika's case had a ton of drama. Summer's case has a ton of drama. Gabby and Brian, obviously. So it's a sad state of affairs.
I've done the same thing with I had a Facebook group. I can't remember what case, but we switched it and everybody got angry, but the case was solved. Why do you care then? You know? How dare you? What am I even mad about? I don't know, but I'm just so angry.
Yeah, we're not deleting anything Kanika related, of course. There's 3 years of history in there, but there are other people missing, guys. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. People are upset. And it's just like, you know, us talking about Gabby and mentioning Daniel. People are, I don't want to see this. Well, what do you mean? You really cared when it was Gabby, but you really don't care when it's Daniel?
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Yeah. There's no explanation. But there are cases that are more, like you get more interested in them. But the thing is you know.
I mean, there are definitely cases that grab me, like the Murdoch case. You were interested in it. Some parts of it, I'm like, wow, that's really interesting.
But it's not real.
Other parts, I'm like, no.
Yeah,
right?
there's still, I don't really even know how interesting some of the stuff is, because the problem is I don't like anybody in it.
Yeah, you don't like the people, so there's
not even the only victim that you might care about is the mother,
Maggie,
and then Stephen Smith from years ago, but we don't even know if that's related. They say it was, but
right. Yeah, and you do have to have that emotional thing too when you read the story. So I get that, but a good point that we need to point out here is people won't even hear the story in order to know if there's any emotional attachment. They're just so focused on specific things that there's no room in their minds for other things. And
I'm talking about the main characters. Like I'm talking about the victims recently in the Murdoch case. Like you've got the girl that died on the boat. Yeah, the girl that died on the boat. I mean, of course people care about that, but this is the recent murders, like Timmy or whatever his name, Paul.
You don't care about Timmy?
God, that guy is just a monster of a kid.
Come on. You're not sad for Timmy?
No. And then also, I mean, I feel, I guess, a little bit for the mother. I don't know what she was dealing with there. But they were all enablers for what was going on. Just this really entitled, rich family getting away with every single thing their entire lives because they have run the show for 87 years. It's crazy.
Yeah. And you're entitled. You're used to it. So that's what ends up happening.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people are not feeling so badly for Brian's parents.
Yeah.
They're feeling like, oh, he was an entitled brat and they're the ones who did it. Well, that's possible. And they're the ones who made him this way. So why should we feel bad for them? You know me. I'm like, well, if he was an entitled brat, then I don't feel too bad. But for the most part, I do feel bad because they didn't know their son was going to do something crazy like this. I mean, how the hell would they know? You wouldn't. I have to see what's going on with this one.
Gabby's case is interesting to a lot of women because they know this could have been them. Most of us have experienced abuse at some point in our lives.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's a lot of cases just like this that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's like
hundreds. Yeah, thousands, really.
Yeah. There are thousands of cases like this.
And, I've covered many of just random cold cases, and just by reading through it that the husband or boyfriend is the one, but there just wasn't enough proof, and it's just still lingering out there. 100%.
Nope, I don't want to do that. Hold on one second here. Yes, I want to do that.
Yeah, and don't forget that the subscribe button if you're out there and you're just lingering around. Just go like this. Hit the button, and then right next to it, hit the notification bell, and then all. Okay, and then
I'm going to read this little thing here to you, Gray.
All right.
I can still hear her voice. Archer's park ranger warned Gabby Petito her relationship seemed toxic. All right. Melissa Hulls says she can still hear Gabby's voice. On August 12th, the Visitor and Resource Protection Supervisor at Arches National Park heard a call come over the radio of a possible domestic. Hulls arrived to find the couple pulled over by Moab police. Knowing that in a domestic violence situation, the female usually feels more comfortable talking to another female, she focused on Gabby, who at that point was sitting in the back of a police cruiser. I can still hear her voice. She wasn't just a face on the milk carton. She was real to me. Hulls pictures the sobbing 22-year-old sitting in the back of the cruiser. She knows her mannerisms just from the roughly hour-and-a-half interaction. I was probably more candid with her than I should have been. She warned her that her and Brian's relationships had the marking of a toxic one. I was imploring with her to reevaluate the relationship, asking her if she was happy in the relationship, and basically saying this was an opportunity for her to find another path and make a change. She had a ton of anxiety about being away from him. I honestly thought if anything was going to change, it would be after they got back home to Florida. In the end, Gabby stayed with Brian. This wasn't a good day for anybody.
When was
we
that?
thought we were making the right decision when we left them there.
Oh,
and on Sunday, when she heard the news that the FBI had recovered a body consistent with the description of Gabby, she tilted her head back and let out a sigh of someone all too familiar with the body recovery effort. I honestly hadn't looked at my body camera footage for the night. It's hard to think about it now because I feel like I could have said something more to help her. It's hard not to second guess myself, and I wish I had said more, or I wish I had found the right words to make her believe that she deserved more. So this just came out, last night at 8 o'clock Mountain Time. So I guess this was the officer, the ranger, Melissa, who showed up on the scene that day. And she said, based on what she saw with Gabby, she said it seemed toxic. And, you know, Gabby probably was freaking out because of her anxiety about being away from him. And he was going to a hotel and she was going back into the van.
So that's on the 12th, this incident right here.
This was on the 12th, yep.
And when was this happening? Like after the body cam footage?
No, I don't think her body cam footage was released. She's a ranger. She's just recapping how she felt, that she had these conversations with her. She hadn't even watched her body cam footage yet.
No, but did this take place after that conversation that she had? Was it?
She was having it probably while we were seeing the other cops talking to Brian.
I see. Okay.
It was while she was in the back of the truck, you know?
So there might be other body camera footage.
It's not that we didn't think he was manipulative, but we have to worry about the safety and not the psychology. We have to go by the facts, what we were faced with, and not let our emotions drive the decision. It's really hard to think I could have done something more or found that exact word to make her change her life. There are so many circumstances where you wish it just went a different way and you get stuck with the would have, could have, should have, and you can't do it. You got to learn and keep going. Otherwise, you're not going to be any help for the next Gabby.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Crazy.
That's going to be really difficult, you know, if she's telling her, because Gabby's in a panic, that she's going to be left alone in the van and away from Brian. Like, honey, this relationship's toxic. You got to... You know, Gabby's probably.
And you know what? And here's
a
scenario could be that she got the courage to do what the lady said later, and that's what led to him going, "Oh, you're not leaving me." You know, something. Who knows, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
She might have remembered it just like Melissa's remembering it, and thought, you know, I'm going to get away from him. He is toxic.
Yeah. Like this, but this comment here, I couldn't disagree more. I don't think that this has more eyes because of who the suspect is. Same with Watson. No. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with there was all this video stuff out there and everybody was watching it. You know, like
I don't know, because
images.
For me, Brian was not the least bit intriguing. He's very vanilla, very
He is like Watts a little bit, just kind of.
Gabby was interesting. You know, Gabby to me, she had that charisma where you're looking at her and thinking, gosh, this could be my sister, this could be my daughter. You know, him, you know, same with Shanann versus Chris Watts. I always thought Chris Watts was just a
I think Chris Watts and this
nothing
guy,
about that man that intrigued me.
Right. I think Chris Watts and this guy are similar, but nobody would be you could even say the same thing in the Watts case. It's like if they didn't go out and do the interviews, there wasn't the social media of her Thrive business all over the place with all the videos.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't have been anywhere near as big as it was, even though it was a horrific crime. It wouldn't have been anywhere near as big, and it was solved really quickly. This one's only big because of the video on YouTube. All the Instagram images and the timeline, and everybody has all this stuff. And then the body camera footage. Then we got the one from the 27th in the van. I mean, it's just blown up because of that stuff. without any of that social media presence, none of you, I mean, I would say very few people in here right now, and hell, even including us, because we might not even have heard about it. That's the thing.
Exactly what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Because I started scanning TikTok and Twitter for other cases. There are cases out there that have literally no videos, YouTube, Instagram, social, TikTok, nothing. There's nothing. So you're like, oh, how do you bring this to people? Because they're not really going to give a shit.
Yeah.
So without it, what do you have?
Yeah, and the thing
you
is,
have a news article. People don't even like to read.
And it is more interesting. It is more interesting for us to cover cases that have the videos and the Instagram and all those things. It makes it easier, but it's sort of like it's just not fair for other victims out there.
It is not fair in the least.
I'm not saying that it's wrong for people to. This is why you're watching it, but I'm telling you the truth. You can pretend in your mind, oh no, I would have still no. You
no.
Yeah.
You know how I know?
Be honest. Okay.
Because I've covered Jameek Lowry. I've covered Kendrick Johnson. I've covered probably 10 other people. Okay? And I've posted that information in the Kanika Jenkins group. Do you think there was one comment?
I bet you if Kendrick Johnson
any of those cases
happened,
zero.
I bet if Kendrick Johnson happened right now, because true crime's bigger now than way bigger, like 10, 20-fold since then. I think if it came out right now, it'd be way bigger with the videos and
absolutely
just things like that. But now it's
his parents are still trying to get help, so that is still a super important case to have out there. His parents are still fighting to get help because they don't believe it. They don't believe it, and they do not believe it. And I don't blame them because after spending months researching that and looking at every single side, listening to every person, I came out of it at the end of my video crying. I was like, I don't know. I'm done. I have no idea. I wish I knew what I believed, and I don't know. I gotta go. Like, what a way to end a video. I went into it thinking he was 100% murdered. And then halfway through, I'm like, oh, he 100% had an accident. And at the very end of the whole thing, I was like, I have no idea. So imagine how his parents feel. That's insanity. And it did get a good amount of attention, but I think it should have a lot more. I think all of these cases should have a lot more. They just don't.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to have every case have the same amount of coverage.
Yeah, you know, there's not enough time a day. There are enough YouTubers to cover it, though. And enough reporters out there. I mean, look at what they just said about Daniel's case. No, we're not interested in that right now.
And not now, but give us a call in a week or two when this one dies down. It's hot. Okay.
That makes me want to punch all the things on the planet. Yeah. Just all the things. It's like, what are you talking about? You're not interested. Have you seen his dad on video? Oh my God. And you're not interested. Okay.
Yeah.
Legit.
So here we got, this one's a pretty good point on the Gabby case. Gabby doesn't drive the van. She stated it. So then she was in a position she had to go back and back with him. Yeah, because she wouldn't have driven back all the way by herself. Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, she's kind of in a tough position there.
Yeah,
I wonder if the police knew that really.
I don't know.
Right, but we're gonna cover this one until it ends, unless it keeps lingering for months where there's no Brian.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. If it does that, it just drive you crazy. Every day you're looking to see. And then there's a lot of cases out there like that right now where you just kind of on hold. Summer Wells, on hold. The little baby Khaleesi that I did, on hold. We don't know anything. Jelani Day, they're still searching. We don't know. Now we got Daniel. We don't know. Brian, he's in the wind. They'll find him eventually. I have faith. They're going to find him, but... Oh, Jen, I'm glad you got the mug. Good. It's only, almost 2.5 months late, but
do you think he's still alive out there?
I don't know. A lot of people were saying the guy's a coward and he probably ran. If he had the resources to run, I'd say that the Mustang at the reserve was a play. Yeah. It was just a ruse. Yeah. And he ran, he's out there living his best life.
And that means the parents are part of it.
Climbing a fucking mountain.
And that means the parents are part of the ruse.
I think a lot of parents would protect their kid to that extent.
Yeah,
if he just says, I didn't do it, there was an accident and they're going to put me in jail forever. I don't, help me. And it's your baby? You might do it.
Yeah, you might. You might in that situation. I don't know. But if you knew that they were the killer, right?
Yeah, if he swears up, down, and says, I've always, I never would lie to you. I swear I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. We got into an argument and she smashed her head. They're going to blame me. I got to get out of here. Okay.
I did a poll on that.
Get you out of here.
I did a poll. I think it was like 90% said they would turn him in, but there was.
Yeah, you feel like that until it's your own kid.
Yeah, but I think it also depends on, like, if he said that he killed her when he snapped, I think you'd have to turn him in.
Different.
Yeah, but if it was like, it was an accident, but it would look bad, so, maybe in that scenario, I don't know.
If my son was lying to me and said he didn't do it.
But would you make the other family suffer like that? I mean, so that's the thing.
I don't feel like I could, but we could be dealing with a very cold family here. We don't know what we're dealing with because they haven't even said a word. So could they just be this cold, fucked up family who they just don't care? They care more about Brian than Gabby, obviously. Brian's their son.
Yeah.
And he could have sold them a bill of goods. We were arguing and I pushed her out of the way because she was hitting me. And then she smashed her head. They're going to blame me. I'm going to go to prison. Do you want me to go to prison, Mom? No, I don't want you to go to prison.
All right. Well, here's the thing. I gotta take off here in a minute to go to my doctor's appointment. But let me say thanks to Daniel, Tina Stranger for becoming a channel member, Brandy Bradford, Nicole Wilson, who's now a moderator. Boom, boom, boom. Robbie Loughton for joining. Let's see. Jules Verde for joining. Then Jennifer Cochran Fent, Super Chat. Reluctant Healer. Robbie from ABQ. Vet Girl. Woman of Steel. Jiggy England. True Crime Wifey. Brandy Bradford. Cassandra Morris. Sandy Lee G. I hate chocolate. That's what I was saying.
That is a bad name, by the way.
Yeah. Emily Flotilla. Miss Loch Ness. Reluctant Healer, Woman of Steel, Nicole Wilson, and Anna River. So thank you very much. And again, if you'd like to become a channel member, we're going to do live shows just for channel members at a certain point, like probably once.
Yeah, we got to decide when we're going to do that, actually.
Yeah. And you can come on and call in or come up on the screen on the not panel.
You can come up and it's not a panel.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, we just got to decide, what case, what thing are we going to be talking about? You just never know what in the world is going to pop up. Tomorrow there could be a brand new case that takes sides. Just crazy. You just don't know. So we will see. Yeah. Thank you, Bluegrass.
Here, one thing I want to comment on this one right here. See, I don't necessarily agree with this one because if it was a suicide in a way that would easily look like he did it. Like, let's say she did that thing where you asphyxiate yourself by leaning into it, and then it looks like ligature marks, and he finds her. Is he going to, and especially after being pulled over on the 12th, I think I think he might be doing the same damn thing. Like, oh, God, I got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's the tough part. What if she did kill herself? And
who
the hell knows?
See, there could be a bunch of, we'll have to see, but it sounds like the police, they might have the marks on her. And that's why they're got a warrant. That's why they said that thing that you said earlier.
But also, too, really quickly, if you look at the both of them in the video footage, he totally wraps the cops around his finger.
Oh, yeah, they fist pump
seconds. He's like that good. So I think he killed her. Yeah. He doesn't want to own it. And he took off. I think I don't think she committed suicide at all. Because I think he knows he could have gotten out of that. He did something to her that was obvious, and he ran. I don't think he's dead.
But then he didn't bury her.
Look how he acted with those cops.
But then he put her on the ground underneath the tree up where you could see her from the ground. I don't know.
Have you seen the memorial site that they made a cross out of for Gabby out of rocks?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
I don't know if that's right at the crime scene, actually, but
I don't either.
I located it. But the really I think he killed her. He snapped. I'm just throwing out the other option that's possible that there could be something like that she was so depressed because he left again, let's say, and then when he got back, maybe on the 29th, maybe that's when he saw her, you know, or no, the 29th was the hitchhiking thing, right? Yeah.
I feel like he would have milked that, though. I feel like he knows he could have twisted.
Yeah, he might have been able to do something like that. I'm just saying that's just another option. I don't have that very high up on a list or anything like that.
Yeah.
Very, very low. But you never know, right? You never know. But
we will know soon if that autopsy comes out, hopefully.
Yeah. So I gotta go.
All right.
And since I'm running the computer,
bye, everybody.
Thanks for showing up, and thanks for all the support. Hit that like button on the way out the door, and hit the subscribe button. All right, maybe just stay on for a couple seconds, but anyways, I'll see you guys later.
I was about to hit that leave button.
Okay, go ahead.
Button clicker.
All right, go ahead. That's all right.
All right.
All right, everybody. See you guys later. I'm gonna hit this. Boom. Here we go.
Bye.
See you later.